For over 20 years, I've dedicated my life to bringing you the very best selling, marketing, and business building strategies to keep your business thriving. Get ready to experience the success you've been searching for. Welcome to the Tom Ferry Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Tom Ferry Show, episode 64. Today, I want to talk about some of the big problems that I'm seeing new agents face, veteran agents that are back on the rise, or emerging agents, people that are 3, 4, 5, 6 years in the business, and they're struggling to get noticed. They're struggling to generate enough customers. I saw something recently tweeted out. It was the Orange County Register, and in this piece, the writer was talking about what's happening right here in our local marketplace, which is, we know it's the same happening in every marketplace. And basically the numbers were like 80% of all transactions and all revenue are done by about 15% of all the agents. And then they went to talk and say half the agents in the local marketplace had not even closed a transaction in the last 12 months. What we know is there might just be someone right now watching this show. Maybe it's you who's just saying, I'm just not getting my share. Or what do I need to do, whether I'm new or 30 years in the business and I've just been feeling irrelevant? How do I get a bigger chunk of the pie to make the money you deserve? So the problems are obvious. There's way too many agents. I mean, the reality is I'm playing around with this vision of only 300,000 agents doing 5 million transactions. That's really my goal. I think that's the right mix. It's way less agents selling way more homes, providing way better service. That's kind of one of my, massive transformational priorities, if you will. That, by the way, makes a lot of people nervous because some of you are like, wait a minute, where am I going? No, you're watching the Tom Ferry Show. You're going to be one of those agents selling all those homes. Today, we just have too many agents, right? And everyone you know is getting their real estate license right now because the market is great. Second thing, there's way too much noise in the marketplace, advertising dollars. The Burrell report says there's about a $14 billion a year ad spend just on real estate. $14 billion, and you're thinking about, should I do a mailer? Should I run some ads, right? Should I do some online promotion? There's a $14 billion spend. There's a lot of noise in the space. And the big one is that, look, we're in the stream economy, that we're in this economy now. So people are doing this on their phone, right? They're scrolling fast through all this content, all this noise, all this information. And when they finally trigger on something on their mobile device, they want it right now. So I thought what I would do today is share with you some of the things that we work on as a company, some of the things that I'm watching a lot of our best clients do to try and point you in a few simple solutions. The first, I believe that you need to understand people's psychology. If I want to break through the noise, if I want to be a new agent and start to generate more business from my database, as an example, or open houses, or whatever it is, we've covered a lot of ground on the Tom Ferry Show. So we've discussed a lot of these subjects already once in terms of open houses, online lead generation, how do you work your referrals. So we've done a lot of that. But let me share with something maybe you don't know. What we know is consumers, the way they experience us, we call it the marketing hourglass. The first thing is you just don't work with people you don't know. So you got to do certain things every single day in your marketing, in your push, if you will, in your phone calls, in your presence when you're connecting with people, that they get to know you. At the end of the day, my dad used to say, it was a funny line, he would say, there's two kinds of people on the planet, people that you know and people that you don't know. Which group is bigger? Well, the reality is most people are still trying to figure out this one. I'm looking at the 7 billion people on the planet and saying, how do we help them? They're never going to do business with you until they get to know you. Who are you? What are you about? What's your story? What's your unique selling proposition? Remember the Google conversation we had several weeks ago where, can you show me your track record? Can you show me your experience, your demonstratable ability to negotiate? Remember that conversation? That all falls under the know. But then once they get to know you, then they like you, right? The obvious, old reference to the Facebook thumb, now the heart and the smiley faces and everything else. But you got to know somebody, you got to like somebody. And when this happens, then you get the one thing that when Google did that piece, I remember the number, 49% of all consumers selected their real estate professional because they just said, I felt like I trusted her. I felt like I trusted him. So there's too many agents. Like everybody has like 300 agents living in their neighborhood. You with me on this? There's way too much noise, $14 billion ad spend. We're in the stream economy. Everybody is slightly ADD, right? And we're all staring at our devices all the time, and that's become the new norm. How do I create trust? It starts here. They got to get to know you. They got to get to like you, even if they've never met you face to face. Then they got to trust you because they're never going to try you or buy from you or repeat business with you or refer you business until those three things happen. Know, like, trust. Then they try. Hey, I saw your, would you like to, I'm curious about, and the consumer reaches out to you. They try. Then these things happen. So if I was watching this today, and let's say I'm a brand new agent, or I'm a 40-year veteran trying to reinvent myself. Like I was thinking about a few of our clients that I've met with recently that are, they've been selling real estate for 35 plus years, and they're reinventing themselves right now, and the same rules apply. So let's take a look. If you said to me, what are the steps I could immediately jump on, Tom, to win? Now, this is not the end-all be-all. We've covered so many open houses, farming, past clients, follow-up, all these discussions. They all fit in there. But if you don't have these things done as a new agent, if you don't have these things done as an emerging agent, if this isn't in play and you're a veteran agent who's looking to rise, you're missing a big part of the equation. You're missing a big part of the know, like, trust conversation. So let's start with this. Number one, you need to over-index on reviews. I remember 5 years ago, getting the phone call, hey, we're thinking about putting reviews on Zillow. And I said, I think it's a brilliant idea. Coming from friends of mine, big shout out to Ken Carey, Script to Screen, one of the greatest infomercial writer, producer, directors on the planet. I'd watch an infomercial, as I'm sure you have too, right? But wait, there's more. If you act now, if you watch one of those, what do you see? 65%, 75% of the entire show is someone validating a testimonial, a review, and the more relatable the views, and the more reviews, the more you say, well, if that guy can do it, or if she can do it, I can do it too. So when they said, we're going to do this, I said, this is a home run. It's a no-brainer. And today we have clients like Kurt down in San Diego, who's the most reviewed agent in all of San Diego. And he actually puts that out in his marketing. I'm the most reviewed agent. We're now competing on how many reviews we have. And there's a good chance that maybe one of you has no reviews. Now you could say, but Tom, I'm a brand new agent. Look, on Zillow, you can do Zillow, Google, Yelp. I mean, pick your poison, right? The reason I like Zillow is it's because it's the website that everyone goes to when they're thinking about real estate. So that's a positive, right? Versus say, when I think of Yelp, I think of like restaurants, right? That's kind of more the way my mind works. Or Google. Google's fine too. You can house them all there. Google is certainly winning when it comes to all things, everything on the planet. Over-index on reviews. Here's the deal. You can have people review you now on a lease, on a listing, on a buy side. You can have them review you on showings, right? There's so many different ways now people can give you a review. The key is you want to have 60, 70, 80, 100 reviews. Now, if you're sitting here like, I'm 2 days in real estate, great. Let's get to 3. Let's get to 4. Let's get to 5. If I'm 20 years in the business, it means I'm going to send an email to every person in my database and say, I know we haven't, transacted or done a deal in a while, but would you take the time to go to this website and just write a little review? And you would be shocked how many people would do it. You've got to make it a concentrated focus. Why? Because when they read reviews, they get to know you. When they read reviews, they say, I relate to that person who bought that house from Taz. Clearly he's my guy. They start to like you and trust you, and all they did was read reviews. So think about it like this. If you don't have reviews, how does someone get to know you? Oh my God, hand-to-hand combat in 2016? I have to actually physically get to know you and then have my friends validate, if I'm real or not? That's a pretty scary proposition in a world today when everything is here and everything is quick. And you and I both know you get a lead in and it feels a little bit fishy, or I don't know what fishy feels like. Smells a little fishy. And what do? You Google the client. You go to their Facebook page. You look to see if they're a serial killer. You know what I'm talking about? That's what everybody does. So when they search you, if they see this, winner, winner, chicken dinner. Does that make sense? Second one, market collateral, some things that are a must. I mean, obviously, a website like about.me I think is a great idea. So I've got my Zillow page, my Trulia page, my Google page, I got my Yelp page, obviously I got my own website, but an About Me page with just a photo and a video and all your social contact and your stories is a really good thing to have as well because it's showing up high in the ranks. Fill out every possible profile. Obviously a seller landing page, you need something that converts, that's always good, but that's the obvious stuff. The big one that you've heard me talk about a ton is I need you to map out your transactions, right? If you're brand new, get your office transactions, but ultimately put your face, Taz, can you see this over here? My little punk rock triangle V stick person with big lips and eyes that are slanting to the high and right. So this is your contact information, this is your photo, these are the bubbles of all your transactions, you know, thinking of buying, thinking of selling. This could be, you know, a team always outproduces an individual and it's your company's transactions in that marketplace for the last 12 months, but your face, your contact information for information about these and other properties, call me. The bottom line is, I know this, when you have a map of your transactions, yours or your team's, right, or your offices, people see that and they go, oh, okay, yeah, I remember seeing those signs. I know them. Oh, I like this area. This person does a lot. I can trust them because they've done a lot of transactions. They've been a part of a lot of transactions, right? Let me give them a try, right? That's how it works. Now, in addition, you need the story. This should really say your story. So this is the game I love to play with people. So I'm going to give you a 30-second spot on the halftime of the Super Bowl football game. You got 30 seconds. What do you do? What is that, like a $10 million ad spot? I don't even know, but it's like some crazy number. But if I gave you that 30 seconds, what would you do? Hi, my name is Larry. I sell houses. You should come to my website. And oh, here's my phone number. Like, that's really, when I put people on the spot, that's the kind of garbage that comes out of their mouth. Instead, what is your unique selling proposition? Why should anyone care about you or what it is you do? Why you versus the 1.2 million other agents that are findable? Think about it. The average consumer knows 15 agents, 7 agents, 22 agents. I mean, it's bananas. The big problem, too many agents, too much noise. How do you get your voice heard? So I wrote down, you need a story. You need a unique selling proposition, right? Something like, you know what I've discovered, Sarah? There's just no good homes on the market. And the more buyers I talk to like you, the more they tell me there's just no good homes on the market. We know that there's homes on the market, but they're homes that everybody's already seen and they're overpriced and they're choppy. They're just not the ideal place. That's why I help my clients find the non-market. Now, immediately they're, the non-market? What do you mean, the non-market? See, we find homes that are perfect, but they're not for sale. Are you interested in hearing more about that? Now, if I'm a buyer and I've been looking at every website and I meet you at an open house and I've talked to 7 different agents and you're the one that gives me an interesting, unique selling proposition, a hook, you identify my problem and you've got a unique solution to it, I'm going to be more engaged. I'm going to be more interested. Does that make sense? So why, right? Over-index on reviews, marketing collateral, map, show your track record. That's important, but you got to get a story. I remember talking with a wonderful client, Ann Brazolis. Big shout out to Ann Brazolis down in San Diego. She was going through a transition in her business, and the one thing that she needed from me was to rewrite her story, right? So she can call her past clients in Sphere. She had become stale, in her words. And if Ann, if you're watching this, you know it's very rare that you ever become stale because you are a pistol rock star, $100 million producer. But yet Ann needed some coaching. She's like, I need to get a new story. So when I call my customers, I'm bringing them value, something interesting, something unique. And we worked on this story. She started making the phone calls and her business just took off. More importantly, her energy was fantastic. Think about it. Why are agents struggling? Because all their stories are the same. I sell houses. I work by referral. Right? I mean, give me a break. Too many agents, Way too much noise, not paying attention to what consumers are looking for, not acknowledging people got to know you, like you, and trust you before they ever even attempt to try you. And last time I checked, most human beings are still kind of cynical. You with me on this? So, over-index on reviews, get these two marketing collaterals together. Number 3, obvious one, then I have a bonus one, number 4. Here's what I know. If I was talking to you today and you're a veteran agent and you're trying to get back in the game, or you're a brand new agent and you're like, tell me what I have to do. This is what I know. You got to talk to people. You got to talk to people. You got to get over your fears of rejection. No one cares that you're afraid. No one cares. And last time I checked, human beings are just doing their thing, right? They're sitting at their house with their friends, with their family, doing their thing, and you need to call, you need to knock on their door, you need to connect with them. It is a numbers game. And this is the hard part for people because I'm the first one that says, don't call leads leads. They're human beings, right? Treat them like human beings. If they took the time to fill out a form on a website and give you a phone number or an email and said, I want more information, you might want to reach out to them. You don't want to look at them and say, oh, that's an area I don't want, that's a bad lead. No, human being, treat them with respect, with love, with attention. It's the same thing when you're prospecting, right? If you go knock on 100 doors around an open house, or you call 25 people in your database and you've never talked to them before, but somehow you got them in there, you got to re-engage them, you got to connect with them, you got to bring them value. The script part is easy. The script part is easy. You got to get over your fear. I met with a brand new agent a couple days ago, and he said to me, so here's my marketing plan. This is what I'm doing. And here's basically what his marketing plan, and I know he's watching this right now, so yes, I'm talking about you. He said, referred by a really good friend of mine, Steve-O, and he said, so here's the deal. He said, I got 2 ways I'm going to generate business. I got a small farm with no turnover, and I got 200 people in my database, of which 30 of them actually know me. Think about what I just said there. I was like, you're dead. Quit the business now. You got 200 people in your database, 30 of which know you, 170 people, you're basically going to be spamming to them, right? And you've selected a farm where no one moves. I was like, dude, okay, because he's a client. He's new, he's super savvy, so I know you're watching. Super savvy, super sharp business guy. I said, you need more lead generation, you gotta talk to more people. As soon as I said it, he's like, I get it. It was common sense. But I know when you're newer, it's overwhelming how much you have to do. But I said, at the end of the day, this is a talk to people business. You gotta talk to a lot of people. You gotta have a lot of different lead sources. You gotta have a lot of different marketing. You got a lot of things going, or you're dead. I can't believe I actually did that on the Tom Ferry Show. That was awesome. All right, so I'm going to give you one no-brainer, one you're probably not thinking about. And if I was coaching a brand new agent today, if I was coaching a 40-year veteran, they're brand new as well, this is the one thing I'd over-index on. I would do $5 to $10 a day in Facebook seller ads. And I know many of you have heard me talk about this before. I love a company called geographicfarm.com. They do this. But this campaign, what we're seeing with this, and by the way, I love this, spend $5 to $10 a day, right? So that's $300 a month, or it's $150 a month, whatever it is. And if you say, well, I'm trying this and it didn't work and I didn't get enough leads, this is what I tell people. Then double your ad spend. Double your ad spend. You don't stop. You double your ad spend. There was a time that when we were doing Facebook advertising that we literally said, our cost per lead is 20. Let's go to 75 and see what happens. Because we knew we could break through all the noise and Facebook would give us sort of the most recognition, if you will, for our ads. So you don't stop, you double the ad spend. But think about the numbers, right? So let's say you generate 100 people. Inside that 100 people, we know it's basically a third. So Taz, I don't know if you could see this if I'm going too low. A third of the people bounce from your page. So they go to your page and they bounce. Then what do? You do Google redirect So 11 times they see you on every website they go to. Amazon, I almost said Tinder, that would be funny because I know we talked about that once and I thought that was hysterical. I'm very happily married in case you were wondering, but you got to pay attention to what's happening in the world. Google redirects, so they see me everywhere because we know after 11 visual impressions around the internet seeing your ad, click, that's what Google tells us, they click again. So a third of them bounce from the site and I attack them with Google redirects. A third of them give me like some info, like an email, because and it's like Mickey Mouse at screwyou.com, right? And I take that email and I run it through Intellius or I run it through LinkedIn and I try and find that person. So I append the data. And by the way, these two things, this is where all the money is. This is where all the money is. See, they don't know you, like you, and trust you enough to try you. So what do? You do Google retargeting. So 11 more times they see you all over the internet. They're like, oh, now I see you. Okay, that makes sense. This is a good agent. They're really good with their advertising. This is impressive. Or they give you a partial form fill out, and then I use a data appending service to get the balance of the data, and I add them to my marketing. I put them on my email campaign. I make a phone call. I follow up with a personal message, maybe a video saying, thanks for coming to my website. I know you were curious about the value of your home, but I noticed that we were unable to get all the accurate data to you. What would be the best time for us to get you a comparative market analysis or whatever? And bam. All the money, in my opinion, is made in the people that don't fill out the forms, right? Because the people that are filling it out, the ones that give you the full form fill out, right? They might be giving that to everybody. You with me on this? So I'm not saying that they're good, bad, right, or wrong. Just experience tells me it's like back in the old days with expired listings. Well, the ones with phone numbers, everybody was able to call. But the ones without phone numbers, only a select few good people figured out a way to get the numbers, and others just said, screw it, I'll deliver a package and knock on the door. They went after the non-market, and that's why they won. But here's what the numbers basically show. Every 100 leads, you should be getting 2 to 5 listings. Every 100 leads, once you engage with them, you should be getting 2 to 5 listings. So if I was new today, I'd literally say to myself, how do I get to 1,000 leads in the funnel that are getting to know me, getting to like me, getting to trust me because of my marketing and everything else I'm doing? So eventually a percentage of them try me. And even if out of the 1,000, all I ended up with was, 12, 15, 18 listings, anybody that's playing the long game knows the real money is in how big that number is and the nurturing of those relationships. Make sense? So I kind of started out here and then went over here and then went into this and then ended with that. But I guess my point to you is this. Look, whether you're brand new or you're a veteran on the rise or you're an emerging agent or you're one of my most loyal, crushing coaching clients, at the end of the day, this stuff has to be in place. And if it's not, you're just not getting your potential. You're not getting your potential. If your story's not sharp, if your About Me page and your bio and your map of transactions, if you don't have 70, 80, 90, 100, 200 reviews, right? You're not making it easy for people to know, like, trust, and try you. Does that make sense? So, what actions are you going to take? And then I'm looking for a lot of comments on this, right? Because we covered a lot of ground. So if you're new, I want comments. If you're a veteran, I want comments. If you've already done a bunch of this stuff, I want to know how many reviews you have. That's the question. How many reviews do you have? I want to know. How easy do you make it for people to know, like, trust, and then ultimately try you? Thanks so much for watching. Remember always, your strategy matters, and now more than ever, your passion absolutely rules. Thanks for watching. If you love what you're seeing here, then click the button below to join our online community absolutely free. Thanks so much.